Just one look at you, mm-hmm, and the world's all right with me. Mm-hmm. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, love that day, lovely day. Guys, Silver 5150 here, and it is going to be a lovely day. No matter what happens, it's going to be a lovely day because we are above ground and we are breathing air. All right, just trying to be Pollyanna. Look here, I want to talk about a subject this morning that I was approached with by a subscriber last night, and it's a very serious topic. Before we do that, let's go ahead and get into the markets real quick. Looks like equities are going to surprise us again today, probably to the upside. I don't know what kind of job numbers or economic numbers are coming out, but it looks like they're going to accept those favorably, and I'm pretty sure that central banks do not want bad numbers going into the weekend because that usually leads to a Black Monday, and they don't want another Black Monday like we had this week. Also, right here we have the 10-ounce Samurai bar from JM Bullion, which I told you I was going to get when spot prices tumbled into the 14s last week. And they're here. So getting stuff from the retailers is not that difficult right now. As long as it's on the shelves, try to avoid pre-sale items because you never know how long it's going to be for you to get those, if ever. So oil's down. Bonds are up. Cryptos and metals are catching a nice bid today. So we're up, I think, probably about 3 or 4% in silver. For a lot of you guys, us silver stackers, we love seeing some positive activity in silver. And on that note, the topic for today is the disparity between spot prices and premiums on metal. We know the spot prices are down in the 12s, and a lot of us have never even seen it in the 12s. I've never seen it in the 12s when I was actively stacking. Now, I probably saw it and didn't know what I was looking at a while ago. But I was asked to, rattle the sabers and basically call these guys on the carpet, the retailers, on the carpet for charging so much for these, silver bars and rounds and all this stuff, $12 over spot, $11 over spot, $10 over spot. I got to thinking about it. First of all, you guys know I'm not a movement activist of any kind. That's why me and Chris Dwayne from Greatest Truth Never Told will never see eye to eye on certain things. That's all fine and good. We do need people like that. I'm just not that kind of person. Now, with that in mind, I have a substantial amount of silver. And I acquired that silver by not ever turning my nose up at spot prices. Now, that is not to say that that's not a prudent way to go, because if you have limited budget, and I've had limited budgets and stuff, but you guys know I've gone hog wild using every financial instrument out there to buy silver. So I've intentionally tried to drive myself off the cliff, so I'd never even had time to be concerned about things like, price over spot, this sort of thing. I mean, I had the broker to help me out with a lot of that. He's really good at that, so I left it to someone else, and it paid off dividends in that respect. I just don't have that personality. I'm very reckless and very unthorough, and I don't really pay much attention to details, and that's probably why I'm where I am today. Look here. When it comes to silver, we've got two dynamics we need to deal with, all right? We're buying silver because we're trying to preserve our wealth. We're buying silver because we're trying to insure ourselves against economic tailspins, which we are experiencing in spades right now. Silver is not responding the way we expected. This is true. But we can look at history and we can tell what silver is capable of doing. Twice in history, silver has gone to $50, okay? 40 years ago, and here in 2011, 9 years ago. All right? What you need to understand is retailers and coin shops, if they've been in the business for any length of time, they've been part of those higher spot price swings. So, for example, if APMEX has 2012 Eagles on sale for $11 over spot and say they're $23, right? What you need to understand is in 2012 and even in 2011, spot prices were somewhere in the 20s, 40s, or 30s, okay? And at that time, when they purchased from the mint, they didn't get a break on, the price of silver. I mean, they paid the retailer price, but whatever the spot price of silver was, they kind of ate that. They still had to provide stuff for their customers. And if they bought Eagles during 2011 when we had the spike and all that stuff, they probably tried to avoid the peaks, of course, but I'm telling you, they paid higher prices for that silver. So they have to figure out how to balance that out here in the end. So, they are being a little extreme with their premiums, but that's a lot of it's driven on demand right now. Demand is really high right now. And I'm not saying they're being completely honest about the math, but they are taking into account the higher prices they paid in those other years for, say, Eagles. We'll just use Eagles as an example. In trying to balance out that price. It's like when a contractor is working on jobs, and some jobs he'll get soaked on because he has bad labor or he has a bad schedule that, runs it, gets into cost overruns. But then he has another job that, is contracted out for an amount. It gets done with no hitches, no problems, and he comes out on top. But in the end, by the end of the year, he comes out even. And I know these guys are making a profit and stuff, but you got to understand something too. There are countries right now, and you guys are listening, around the globe where you have VAT taxes and you have, some kind of tariffs or limits or restrictions on what you can buy, this sort of thing. Here in the United States, and I don't know if, my subscribers in the United States, we are pretty privileged to be able to grab metal off the shelves. If you're able to volume purchase, you can avoid taxes, $1,500 or greater in some cases. I think Bold is only $99. I don't know. You don't really pay for shipping depending on how much you purchase also. So there's a privilege there. Now, the spot prices, the premiums, yeah, they can be a little higher, but you got to start considering all these other things, the real world costs, for these guys to carry the metal because, APMEX, I'll use them as an example again, or JM Bullion. Their costs are not limited to what they pay for the metal. They've got a business to run. They've got people they've got to pay. They've got security, things they have to work with and administrative costs and all that stuff. And I'm not trying to give them a free pass or anything like that. But trust me, they're competitive. They're trying to compete with other retailers. And so, their behavior is actually curtailed by that. Okay. So you see these high spot prices. And let me just full disclosure. Last night, I purchased my water buffaloes right at like 12:30 in the morning. As soon as my check hit the bank, I purchased those 40 water buffaloes from JM Bullion. Thank you guys for not buying them up like I thought you might, because they were $12.34 over spot, and I was glad to get them. Now, is that responsible? Should I have kind of haggled with them and tried to get the price down? Should I become an activist and see if I can get these guys to behave a little better when it comes to premiums? I mean, sure, I could do that, but here's the thing. The court system is slow as it is. And if you think the court system was slow before all this stuff started happening, you can bet your sweet bippy it's not going to be moving at any breakneck speed. Not only that, I think that by the time that we could actually get something done about, looked into to see if these guys are price gouging, we're going to be well beyond what's normalcy in the retail metals markets. Okay. The second thing I want to address is value. Guys, we are in silver, we're in precious metals, gold, for the insurance value. We're in it for the preservation of our wealth. But we expect a better return when paper currency fails, do we not? I mean, if you feel that silver is valuable and you feel that it's going to, increase your wealth or increase your purchasing power, how is it that you want to keep it in an area where it appears cheap all the time? It can't stay that way. If we treat silver, as it should be cheap, meaning that we want lower prices all the time, how is it ever going to be visualized? Or how the optics are ever going to appear to be where it's actually super duper valuable? Okay, silver can't stay cheap forever. Retailers can't, ignore, their real world cost. Okay. If we want silver to hit the heights that it's supposed to hit, we're going to have to participate in the price increases as that time goes on. Now, honest to God, guys, if you think about what it takes to get the silver out of the ground, what it takes to refine it, and that's twice they have to refine it. Get this stuff over to Sunshine. Sunshine's got to hit the blanks. We're talking about Eagles here. Sunshine's got to make the blanks. They've got to mill them. They've got to, get them all set up. They've got to ship them. They got to get them over to the mint. And then the mint has to get in there with your tax dollars, and they have to strike these things. And they have to box them up. If you ever looked at some of the videos where they're inside the facility, and then they've got to get them out to the retailers. All right. All these things cost money. You telling me that you think you should pay $13, $14 for an American Silver Eagle? Just bear with me on this. The amount of fuel, time, energy, and labor that goes into making one Silver Eagle, I guarantee you, even at today's high dollar value prices, the dollar is over 103 again today. There is no way in the world I can, in my mind, imagine that a Silver Eagle is supposed to be $13, $14 given the inflation we have today. That's the way I look at it. I think a silver eagle, even on its worst day of spot, is worth about 30 bucks. I don't want to pay 30 bucks, so if I can find them for 20, 25 bucks, I'm glad to go ahead and grab them if I have the money to do it. The last thing I'm going to say, we're getting kind of long here, I got to go to work, is by the end of April, we're going to see spot prices that are going to cause us to look back on this issue in silver, and we're going to kind of second guess going, what the hell were we thinking? Silver is, $35, $40, $50 an ounce, and we had a problem with it being $20 an ounce for an eagle. Okay? People that bought eagles back in 2011, I sympathize with you. You probably paid, 30s, 40s, or even $50 for one. And by the way, guys, hear me out. Last thing. When the spot price starts climbing from this point, understand that premiums are at a lock. Okay? Premiums are at a lock. So if you can get an eagle right now for $23, which makes it $11 over spot or $10 over spot, that spot price from this point percentage-wise is going to increase exponentially with the value of the spot price because it's been locked down for so long. Just mark my words. Remember I said that. You can refer to this video later. All right? I get it, guys. Times are tight. You're trying to stack. You're trying to get stuff. Florida Stacker and a lot of these long-term stackers, Silver Joker, they'll tell you need to price cost average over time. Search for the deals. Hunt for the deals. You have to be responsible for creating your own economic breaks because the retailers aren't going to do it. The retailers are going to look at their books, they're going to look at their spreadsheets, and they're going to go, okay, here's what we need to produce. Here's what we need to generate to stay in business. All right? I ain't mad at you. I love you, and I get it. I get it. But understand that the spot price is so manipulated by the paper COMEX market with derivatives of silver. It's a $7 trillion market, if I'm not mistaken, in a $3 billion 3 billion ounce silver market. Okay? I hope that helped. I hope that helps you guys, figure out how you want to shop today. Please buy some silver today. Today is $3.20. I know we said we weren't going to do it, but I'm asking you, silver $51.50. I spent my $777 last night. I got my 40 water buffaloes. And so, hey, let's just get it, man. Let's get it. And as soon as we can clean this thing out, and I think we're going to be able to do it, the sooner we're going to see true valuation, fair market value for silver, which is going to absolutely dwarf anything we're talking about right now. It's going to be unbelievable compared to what's going on now. All the economic energy that's been stored in silver from the beatdowns and the manipulation and the drawdowns on prices, all that energy has not gone away. It's going to release explosively. It's going to be violent. We won't be able to chat about it enough how fast silver is going to increase. It's going to make cryptocurrencies look like a tortoise. All right? So stick with it. Stick with it. Buy what you can buy. Understand the retailers have their cost. And just kind of hold your nose, man. But get the metal in your possession. Because I can tell you something worse than high premiums is not having it. All right? Keep that in mind. If you don't have any silver, get some today. If you have some silver and you have some cash and you don't need it for anything else, use it today. Buy some silver, hold your nose, pay the spot price, and I guarantee you by the end of next month, we will be singing a completely different tune. All right, guys. You don't have to like, share, and subscribe. Just a message to you today. Go out, do your best, kick butt, and let's get back together this afternoon with some cool silver.